Hi, I'm Miss Kristen of the Oosterhout Free Library. Did you hear that sound? What was that? It sounds like a jingle jingle of a bell like a reindeer would wear. In the story I have to share with you today, a young girl hears a jingle jangle coming from outside, so she decides to investigate. What will she find? We'll have to find out in the book called The Little Reindeer. Today, we'll also learn a bit about reindeer and their cousins called caribou. Where can you find them? And what do they like to eat? And more. Then I'll show you how you can make your own flying reindeer with items that you have around your house. So let's begin our story. The Little Reindeer. The Little Reindeer, written and illustrated by Nicola Killen, and published by Simon & Schuster Books for Young Readers. It was Christmas Eve, and Ollie had just gone to sleep when, jingle, 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 she woke again with a start. What was that sound? She rushed to the window, but all she could see was a blanket of fresh snow. Grabbing her sled, she ran downstairs and stepped out into the wintry night. Ollie jumped up to catch a falling snowflake when she heard the magical sound again. Jingle, jingle, jingle. She had to follow it. Whoosh! Racing down the hill, she heard the ringing again. Jingle, jingle, jingle. And this time it was much clearer. The bells got louder as the wind whistled and the trees shook. Jingle, jingle, jingle. Ollie was getting close. She took a deep breath and, feeling very brave, she ran into the darkness. There, hanging from a branch, was a collar circled with silver bells. Who could it belong to? Then came a new sound. Crunch, crunch, crunch. A reindeer stepped through the crisp snow toward Ollie. Hello, she whispered, not quite believing her eyes. Are you looking for this? The reindeer knelt down patiently while Ollie fastened his collar. Then he lowered himself even farther. Ollie knew exactly what to do and climbed onto his back. She wondered if they would go for a ride through the forest, but to her surprise, they soared up into the night sky, leaving the trees far below. The new friends landed softly in the snow. Thank you, Ollie whispered. They didn't want to part, but there was someone very special who needed the reindeer's help that night. Yawning sleepily, Ollie crept back to her room and was soon dreaming of her magical journey. Jingle, jingle, jingle. This time, the silver bells didn't wake Ollie. As her reindeer flew through the night once more. In the morning, Ollie found her presents. Now she would always think of her new friend. See you next year, she whispered. The end. What an adventure! Could you ever imagine that? So you might have heard about some magical flying reindeer before, but what do you know about reindeer and their cousins called caribou? Where do they live? What do they eat? Let's find out. Then you can make a flying reindeer.
Some of the images are from Reindeer by Rebecca Pettiford, published by Bellwether Media. Reindeer live in the cold Arctic. They're found in North America, Europe, and Asia. Reindeer are called caribou in North America. North American caribou are a little bit larger than the reindeer cousins. Double coats keep reindeer warm. Short hairs near the skin trap air and heat. Their outer hairs are hollow, and these help the reindeer stay warm and float in water. Arctic air is cold. Reindeers have a special bone inside their noses, and the bone helps warm the air so that they never have to breathe cold air into their lungs. Why, they even have hair on their noses. That helps keep their noses warm while they go hunting for food. Under the icy snow. Reindeers are herbivores. They eat many different types of plants depending on the season. They mostly eat lichens during the winter. Here's this cute guy eating some tasty lettuce. Reindeer travel at great distances in herds, or big groups. Some migrate or move over 600 miles north each spring.
If you want to see some caribou up close, check out this very short video of a large herd. Now that's just a big group of caribou. And the cool thing about this video is that you can move it around while it's playing to get the full picture of all the caribou. I did, and I thought it was fun to move the video around, and I saw this caribou sniffing out the camera. Do you see the shadow of the camera? That caribou was pretty curious. I'll put the link in the description box below. You can also check out these books at the library, along with some fun reindeer stories. Now, let's make a flying reindeer. You will need a straw, plain paper for the tube. Now, to make the reindeer, you might want to print out some clip art that I provided of a reindeer in the description box below. Or you could draw a reindeer on a piece of paper. It's up to you. And then you're going to also need tape, scissors, and optional, a tape measure, or crayons and markers if you're drawing your reindeer. The first thing you're going to want to do is draw, print, or color your reindeer, and then cut that out. Next, we're going to make the tube. So we're going to cut a sheet of paper into a small rectangular shape, just enough to fit around the straw with a bit of fold over. Here's a hint. A 3 by 3 inch square cut in half will make 2 tubes, but you don't really have to measure. Next, you're going to roll the paper around the top of a straw. Not too snug, not too loose. And this is why you need that extra paper to fold over. Now the tube should go on and off very easily. And once you've done that, tape the seam closed. Now, fold the top of the paper tube down and tape shut. Now, test the tube will fly. Find a safe place to fly, free of objects and people. Place the tube on the straw and leave some space between the end of this tube and the straw. This is important. Now you can attach your reindeer to the straw with tape. I made a tape loop and then Now go ahead and let your reindeer fly. Here are some ways that you can explore how far can you make your reindeer fly. You could use a measuring tape to measure how far your reindeer's first flight was and where it landed. You could also just mark the spot with a piece of paper number 1. So once you've done that, you're going to try it again. But this time, you're going to change something, like the angle of the straw, maybe the way that you blow, or your position to the ground. So maybe you'll want to be a little bit higher than you were, or maybe you want to be a little bit lower to the ground than you were. Whatever you decide, you're going to mark the landing spot of your reindeer when you try it the second time. And then try it again the third time and see which way helped the reindeer to fly the farthest. What did you find out? Now you might be wondering what's happening. Well, the force of the air that you breathe out is pushing against the closed end of the paper tube. This helps propel or move the reindeer forward. So you're going to explore, what does the amount of breath that you use change how far the reindeer can fly? Does it make it go further, or does it make it go a little bit less? Try it and find out. What about the size and shape of the reindeer? If you were to make a different size reindeer, would it change how far the reindeer flies? You could try that and find out. All of the directions and items mentioned will be in the description box below. I hope you have fun, hope you keep exploring, and we'll see you next time. Bye! Ooh, what was that sound?